What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome to Blade and Soul Revolution. This is a brand new upcoming mobile MMO that will be hitting global launch very soon. However, right now I am playing the game on a test server courtesy of Netmarble, but this video is not sponsored. So I'm gonna say exactly what I'm gonna say. Say it, FG, I'm about to. This is a brand new auto quest, auto pathing, auto combat, and auto grinding, auto play mobile MMO that you've already seen 5,462 times before. Now I know what you're about to say, FG. There's not even 5,462 mobile MMOs in existence, and I would say, how you know? You didn't count. How about instead of trying to fact check me, you just respect me? So, with all that being said, my friends, we find ourselves in yet another autoplay mobile MMO. If you have already written off this genre, don't be going to reach for a fresh sheet of paper, all right? If you've already written off this genre, don't get a fresh sheet of paper and try to write Blade and Soul Revolution on it. It's not gonna work out. It's exactly what you think it is. Nothing has changed. I'm level 42. You can trust me. I done seen it all right? Now, with all that being said again, peep the brand new name. Now you guys know if I like the game, I'm FG3000. If I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna uninstall this game probably in a day or two, I'm FGLOL. But now, check out the new name, my friends, FG Sightseeing, because that's what I do now when it comes to these games. I have completely given up on trying to judge these games on a technical or a gameplay aspect because, come on, really? They're literally the same exact game with just a different coat of paint on it. So if all they're gonna do is put on a different coat of paint, I'm just gonna be looking around at the paint, all right? So there you go, the name FG Sightseeing. So if you're not really familiar with FG Sightseeing, I'll kind of give you a breakdown as we go through a few of these quests, give you guys an idea of what the graphics look like, the combat, etc., etc. So FG Sightseeing, what is that, right? This is a thing that I do when it comes to these autoplay MMOs where, you know, if you have a second or a third monitor, you throw it in your second and third monitor, you throw on the autoplay, and you just let it sit there, right? You'll be on YouTube or on Reddit scrolling through, having a good time, and every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so, you look over at the autoplay MMO and you go, that's pretty cool, man. Oh, look at that cool move. That's pretty awesome. And that's what you do. You enjoy the sights and sounds of the game. Now, right now, my favorite sightseeing MMO is V4, which sounds really strange because on my tier list, I gave it an F, and it deserved an F. But when it comes to sightseeing, V4 is actually a pretty solid game. Amazing graphics, way better than Blade and Soul Revolution, which is kind of disappointing. Let me go ahead and my second win before I get embarrassed on video. Way better than Blade and Soul Revolution, which kind of makes me a little sad. I know that, you know, we're talking about the mobile platform, but let's be real. Blade and Soul came out like 27 years ago, all right? People that were playing the launch version of Blade and Soul already got 3 kids, 2 in preschool and 1 in middle school at this point, all right? So people have been playing Blade and Soul on PC for a very long time. The graphics on the PC version aren't very good at all. I think they were trying to talk about updating it to a 64-bit version. I don't even know what happened with that. I think they're gonna give up on it and just work on the sequel to Blade and Soul, but that's a little side point. What I'm trying to say is the PC version of Blade and Soul doesn't look that great and that revolutionary to the point where mobile couldn't replicate it one-to-one. Like straight up, I think that this game should look exactly like the PC version. I've seen some really good mobile games, and I know mobile can do better, and this is not better. It looks like the PC version of Blade and Soul on medium settings, which I find a little disappointing. So when it comes to sightseeing, V4 graphically is the best on the market. This game does not have a combat camera like V4 as well. Once again, if you don't know anything about V4, check out my V4 video, but V4 has an action cam that's constantly giving you these cinematic battle camera angles from behind the monster, above the monster, under your skirt, all kinds of freaky stuff. This game, you know, it's just a set camera right behind you, a little boring, so it makes the sightseeing not as exciting. So with that, V4 is still my very favorite sightseeing MMO. However, it's still an F. Now back to Blade and Soul. What actually makes this a pretty good sightseeing game is the fact that this is a 1-to-1 scaled down version of the PC version of Blade and Soul. 100%. The voice acting, the quest dialogue, the locations, the quests, the dungeons, everything that was in the, at least the OG Blade and Soul. I haven't got that far. I'm only level 42, even though I said I was level 42 to let you guys know that I felt like I knew everything. I don't know everything. However, at least the OG of Blade and Soul is completely here and represented. So if you played that version like I did back in the day, you're gonna have this massive, sense of deja vu as you flow through this game, because it is literally a one-to-one version of the PC version of Blade and Soul. So if you missed out on playing the PC version of Blade and Soul, this kind of gives you an opportunity to kind of, tour the sights and sounds of what made this game. Because at the end of the day, it still was a PC, well, it still is a PC game, right? This still was a game that was trying to compete with the likes of like World of Warcraft and whatnot. So it's not a bad game. Give me my reward. It's not a bad game when it comes to at least, like I said, the sights and sounds, the dungeons, the monsters, the special attacks, all of that cool stuff is here represented just in a scaled down mobile version, which, like I said, I think they scaled it down a little too much. It didn't need to be scaled down this much, Netmarble. You could have made it look better. Maybe when the global launch comes, there's going to be an HD download or something like that. I don't know, but I tried to do the max settings on it. I looked for everything I could to turn it up higher. This is all you got. So that is that. Now, once we go ahead and do this little wind stride, we'll talk a little bit more about what makes this a pretty good sightseeing game. And it comes down to one of my favorite topics. You guys know, quality of life. So V4, Black Desert Mobile, both have two features which I adore when it comes to sightseeing, and that is autoplay main quest. So this game will autoplay through all of the main quests. Every now and then you have to click on a reward or something like that, but the game will autoplay all the way through your main quest, go through all the dialogue, everything for you. The only thing that you have to interact with when it comes to the quests are going to be the side quests, which I think is fair. You're going to have to check in with the game anyway every now and then to upgrade your character, do some skills and stuff like that. So totally fine. So when it comes to that aspect, it's exactly like V4 and Black Desert Mobile, where you can just kind of set it and forget. Like I said, do stuff in your first screen, have this in your second screen, everything is gonna be good to go. As far as combat is concerned, I feel like they wanted to try to make it manual feeling. The first hour of the game, it pretty much won't let you play on autoplay, right? It just won't let you do it. It'll be like, no, you have to do this manual, you have to do this manual. But then you don't need it after that point. It's a very confusing design decision. Like I said, they try to make it feel like, this game is like the PC version of Blade and Soul, which is very skill intensive. Like the actual PC version of Blade and Soul has a very high skill cap when it comes to PvP. So I think maybe they tried to kind of instill that here in the mobile version, but as soon as you get out of that little tutorial where you're forced to do manual, you'll never put it on manual ever again. You're just going to be just doing all the auto combats. You might do these little dodge moves that you see right here that I'm doing, where I can get behind the enemy. I can do a little backflippy, things of that nature. But for the most part, your combat is going to be on rails, on auto combat. I'm totally fine with it. I'm not trying to play this game to get really crazy combat. I would do that in like a single player game on PC or something like that. When I'm doing a game like this, FG just sightseeing. So that is the game, right? That is the foundation. That's what it is. Autoplay MMO built exactly like the PC version of Blade and Soul, one-to-one. My only issues are kind of like the graphics, but everything else I think is worth playing. So like I said, I am on a test server. When this game comes out, I will jump on the live server just so I can kind of go through it. I never did get to endgame in Blade and Soul PC, so I do want to see the things that I missed out on when I was playing the PC version. I forgot how far I got, but I didn't get all the way through. That was like my first run-in with microtransactions, and I wasted some money on Blade and Soul, and I felt like I didn't get anything out of it. But once again, that's a sidebar. Other than doing the main quest and of course the side quests, here are all of the different things you can do here. So you can upgrade your skills. We'll talk about items here in a second. You have your adventure tab, as you might expect. You can go into dungeons. Like I said before, I am in a test server, so I can't do any party dungeons. I'll probably save that for the global launch video, because I will be back to show you exactly what, a party dungeon looks like, which I'm actually pretty excited for. A lot of the party dungeons in Blade and Soul PC are extremely good. Some of them are really, really hard, and I'm very curious to see how that's going to translate into the mobile versions. There were some fights that we would bang our heads against for like an hour straight trying to defeat bosses and like wasting revives and stuff like that. So I'm very, very interested to see the dungeons in this game. That's going to be something that if this game does right, it's going to be 10 times better than V4, because V4 ain't got no dungeons, and neither does neither does Black Desert. Black Desert doesn't have dungeons either. They have like little boss runs, but they don't have any true dungeons. Blade and Soul actually has a true dungeons experience. The last time I played a mobile MMO that actually had really good dungeons was Perfect World Mobile, another game that I did a little bit of sightseeing in that game too. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just be doing it. And you know what? It's not even the fact, and I've said this before, I spend as much effort not playing these games as I do playing them. It's like the same amount of effort. I think let me get out of this telegraph. Let me hit my God of War QTE as well. I look at these games like a live interactive wallpaper. And I know they might not appreciate me saying it, but I already said it. It's too late. I can't edit it. I mean, I could, but I won't. So let's see if we can beat this Garden Master Curse Fiend here for our nice little daily dungeon. You guys know how these go. Do a little daily dungeon, get a nice little reward, rinse and repita. Make sure you log in every day to make sure you take advantage of those rewards. So there you go. We just knocked out our daily dungeon, and as you can see, it will continue to scale up based on your power. That was a level 31. There's a level 61 there. Like I mentioned a second ago, there is actual dungeons with parties. So once again, if you play the PC version of Blade and Soul, these should look very, very familiar. So I cannot wait to play these again. You have them on a normal difficulty as well as like heroic. There are raids, there are events. So it might actually be a pretty decent time. I want to see what the game is like once there's actual people walking around. You got a field boss, which is going to be just like a world boss you can fight with. There is PvP arena, once again, test server. So I can't really show you this, but like I said earlier, Blade and Soul was really trying to make itself like an esport when it came to PvP. I don't think that's going to translate at all when it comes to mobile, like not even a little bit, but it'll still be kind of cool to look at. Just like the PC version of Blade and Soul, there is a faction that you have to join. So basically red versus blue. If it's exactly like the PC version of Blade and Soul, you will be able to be PK'd in the field. So if you put on your red outfit, someone that's wearing a blue outfit can kill you. But if you don't want that to happen, don't wear your gang colors. All right, that's all you gotta do. Don't wear your gang colors. You won't get jumped, son. All right. And what else we got here? Clans. Once again, that'll be something that I'll show once we play the game in global launch. Your challenges are going to be like your achievements, your dailies, things of that nature. Marketplace I can't show right now. And then last but not least, there is an offline auto mode as well, which I really, really enjoy. So it's only available during certain times at certain aspects of the story. So once I defeat this Act 2 Chapter 5, I can throw this bad boy on offline autoplay and it'll go through kind of like some of the stages that you don't really need to interact with at all. It'll just kind of blow through all of those for you. So if you kind of find yourself at the end of the day and you want to turn the game off and you've reached this requirement, you can turn it on offline auto hunt, and when you come back, all of the kind of like throwaway main story quests will already be done for you, which once again, you love to see. So that is Blade and Soul Revolution. Like I mentioned, a 1-to-1 mobile version of the PC version of Blade and Soul, which I think is pretty cool. I think the graphics would be a little bit better, but when it comes to a sightseeing game, it might be my second favorite sightseeing game, mobile MMO of all time. But do keep in mind, V4 is my favorite, and I gave that an F. So I don't know. So that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, my name is FG3000. I thank you a ton for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.